January 6, 2026 annual organizational meeting of the King George County Board of Supervisors. This meeting is being held in accordance with the board's bylaws and rules of procedure and the applicable provisions of the Code of Virginia. Pursuant to the board's adopted bylaws, the annual meeting is defined as the first meeting of the calendar year, and the county administrator is authorized to preside during the meeting pending the election of the chair. So I'll start by a quorum. Ms. Bender? Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Metz?
Here.
Mr. Sollins?
Here.
Mr. Stroud?
Here.
You have a quorum. So since a quorum is present and the board is authorized to conduct official business, at this time we'll begin with an invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise. Please, Lord, bless our meeting, bless the county, bless the country, bless the world, and especially bless all those that are seated here and those on the board. We have a challenging year ahead, and bless us all to make the best decisions for the residents of the county. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The purpose of the annual organization meeting is to complete the board's required organizational actions for the calendar year of 2026. These actions include election of the chair of the board, election of the vice chair, establishment of the regular meeting schedule, and consideration of the board's bylaws and code of ethics. In accordance with the board's bylaws, the next order of business is the election of the chair for the Board of Supervisors for a term of 1 year. I will now open the floor for nominations for chair.
Yes, sir. I'd like to nominate Supervisor Sullins for chair, please. Second.
Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, the floor is closed for nominations. And then, so we need to take a roll call vote for the nomination of Mr. Sullins as chair for 2026. Ms. Bender?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Sullins?
Aye.
Mr. Stroud?
Aye.
Congratulations, Mr. Sullins. I've got a gavel. Congratulations.
All right. All right. Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'd like to be recognized.
Thank you. Habit. Yes.
I'd like to nominate Supervisor Davis as vice chair.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Do you have any other nominations?
I would like to nominate myself as vice chair.
Second. Or can I second? I can't, can I?
You can, but
Okay.
you don't have to.
Okay. Are there any further nominations? Hearing none, the floor is closed for nominations. Say again? Is there a motion to elect somebody vice chair?
I make a motion that we elect Supervisor Davis as vice chair.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second that. Second my own.
I'm sorry, we're having a discussion, Mr. Chairman. I think you've had 2 nominations, and I think all you have to do is call for the vote on each person. You can start with whomever you'd like. There were 2 people nominated.
You only have one
as vice
second.
chair. You don't have to have a second for nominations for chair or vice chair.
Okay.
You can call whichever order you like.
Okay. We'll go in the order they were nominated. So we'll start with, we'll do a roll call vote for Mr. Davis. Ms. Bender?
Say nay since I've nominated myself.
Fair enough. Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Didn't realize who all was interested. I'm going to go nay.
Mr. Stroud?
Aye.
What do we got, 2-2?
2-2.
Vote.
Great.
You wanted to be chair.
All right, chair votes aye. Motion carries.
Congratulations,
Said here.
Mr. Davis.
So we have to do the musical chairs now. All right. Okay, by vote of the board, Mr. Bill Davis is elected Vice Chair of the King George County Board of Supervisors for the 2026 calendar year. Congratulations. We've played our musical chairs, and I will say that you leave a big chair to fill, but I like my baby chair, so we're not going to switch out. My legs actually touch the ground when I sit in the smaller one. All right, so we'll continuation with the organizational meeting. We will now proceed with the remaining organizational items on the agenda, beginning with the establishment of the board's regular meeting schedule for 2026.
Mr. Chairman, you can take up wherever you like, but Mr. Smolnik skipped amendments and public comment. I don't know if you want to go back to that or stay with appointments.
All right, we're going to start at the top.
We'll come back to
So we did skip public comment. We will open public comment.
any amendments to the agenda.
Thank you. Are there any amendments to the agenda for tonight? Hearing none, I'll open the floor to public comment. Public comment will be limited to 3 minutes per person in order to afford everyone an opportunity to speak. Please provide your full name and district when submitting your public comment so that it can be properly included in the public record. Do we have anybody who would like to make public comment? For the sign up here, I've got Pastor Davis.
Thank you, and congratulations. Congratulations to Ryan Metz for his getting elected. I didn't vote for him. I'm in his district. In fact, I've did everything I could to keep him getting elected, but he's here. And so anyway, congratulations, and we'll pray for you as we can. My name is Sherman Davis, Pastor Davis. I forgot to say that. The word world is used 3 different ways in the Bible. It's used where God created the world, the heavens and the earth, and all the territory, all the real estate belongs to God. It's used in John 3:16, where the Bible says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son." That means he loves people, so the world there is used for people. In 1 John chapter number 2, the Bible says, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but of the world. And the world perisheth." And so it's not talking about just the real estate. It's talking about the theories or the philosophies that's going on in the world that's just running our world. This word world, well, it's the ungodly, worldly lust, as the Bible says. And the world, as the ungodly, can express the lust and the lostness and all that the world tries to put out. God says not to love that world. That world is a system which is organized by men. It doesn't care what God says. For example, there are people in the worldly philosophy tonight would not like for the Bible to be read in the meeting. They would not for the prayer to be done in the meeting. They wouldn't want prayer in school or Bible in the school. It's a worldly system, and they would rather have children committing abortions and killing babies and all that. That is the world system that's against God. And so our system are designed by sinners and sinful men. And so the point here is all about who has the right to rule over us. Who has the right to rule over man? God or our own philosophies or on what we come up with. And so we want to encourage you tonight, board, that you would continue to pray, continue to let people voice their opinions, of course, and of course stay on track. I love King George County. Been here going on 50 years and rejoice in what God is doing. I like rural county. I always vote for the conservative people, and that's just my preference. But anyway, we will appreciate you, love you, and I'm here for you if you need me. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Pastor Shaw?
James Shaw, James Monroe District columnist for the Northern X Sentinel, citizen journalist, kgmedia.top, not speaking tonight as a member of the EDA. New hat 2026. Happy New Year. Welcome, Brian. As a James Monroe District resident, I have already had opportunity to get some info through him regarding the Service Authority and county debt. Thanks for your help. Results of that study are forthcoming, which should include a consolidated payment schedule and ongoing interest rate. The peculiar thing is that some of these notes were set up with a variable and increasing interest rate, very small, but when you're doing spreadsheets, that affects things. And so it adds a fun layer of complexity to presenting to the consumer or taxpayer a friendly report or graph. Now, I know why this information has not yet been published. It's fallen on me. I'll do my best. Taxpayers want to basically know 4 different things. 1, what did we pay for? A building, accumulating fines, pipes underground, or whatever. What's the interest rate? Is that rate less than money we have on hand for cash flow and unplanned emergencies that is invested in Richmond? When do we pay it off? Last payment is around March 1st of 2035, just over 9 months, 3,341 days from now. What's the current balance? Are the user fees being collected keeping up with the payment schedule? Because you have the variable rates and all that kind of fun stuff. Not ready to put those numbers available. Give me a few more weeks. God bless the King George Renaissance, where the debt gets lower and the payoff date gets closer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody else in the audience who would like to make a public comment at this time? Mr. Don, do you have anybody online?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Did anybody receive any correspondence? Miss Bonnie, have you heard from Miss Lovell? Okay, good. She's okay? It's not like her to not show up. Just making sure. All right, good deal. All right, so we'll move on. We'll close public comment at this time, and we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and that's the appointment of the clerk.
I'll make a motion to nominate Mr. Matt Smolnik.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor, properly seconded. Do we have any discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Ms. Bender?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Smolnik. One more task on your list. All right, so we'll pick up with the review of the adoption bylaws, standards of conduct, and code of ethics, starting with the adopt or amend the 2026 King George County Board of Supervisors bylaws. Are there any changes that people would like to bring forward?
I had a couple of changes that I just want to consider. One thing I know we were going to discuss later, maybe the meeting dates. So do we need to wait to adopt them until we decide the meeting dates? That was my one question.
Probably.
And then, hold on, I'll wait to. There's going to be some discussion about meeting dates. So The next one I was going to bring up is for public comment. I know we have some citizens who feel sometimes 3 minutes is a little less than, and we give them a little extra time. So maybe if we moved it to 4 minutes, that would allow that, so we could just cut them off at 4 minutes, and to make sure citizens get priority over outside residents.
Is that a motion or?
I'm just throwing out for consideration on that one. And if someone, and if it's no, then everybody gets 3 minutes and it needs to stay uniform.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that we keep it at 3 minutes, and if for some reason the chair decides that somebody needs more time, then it's his discretion at that point.
My only issue with that is we need to be even-handed across the board. We have extended in the past, but when we do so, we've done it for all parties. So,
Well, the thing is whenever it's been extended, whether it was in public comment or whenever it was whenever we were having not a town hall, because we definitely went over there in the town halls, but I know there were times where it went over. I tell you what, I think maybe we do have a second public comment. So keep it at 3 minutes, and if they have more to say, they'll come back at the second public comment then.
and we've seen people be creative in the past where they'll bring someone with them, whether it be a spouse, a friend, or whatever, and just extend it out, through that means. But that's an observation on my part. What's the will of the board on this?
Well, I was going to say, Mr. Chair, it's probably the most recent one to use that 3 minutes. It does make you prepare ahead of time and get your important parts across very quickly. We do have the second comment period. I think 3 minutes makes people think about what they're going to say, what are the most critical points to make. And if it is a big contentious topic, to work with other people so that they can continue a thought through multiple, which gets more people out here to the meetings as well.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, why I brought that up is talking to people. Some people are uncomfortable speaking, and they even though they wish they could be concise in 3 minutes, they get nervous and they stumble. And I don't want to restrict people being able to speak. You know what I mean? And feel like they have to rush and then they get nervous. Someone who has anxiety or, but that's all I was bringing it up for.
Mr. Davis, were you going to say something?
Sure. When we did it before, it was, if we added 30 seconds, we kept it uniform as far as everyone got a little extra if they had something extra to say. So it's not like you're going to give one more time than the other. I think in a meeting like tonight with a handful of people, 4 minutes is no big deal. But when you have like 20, 30 people, you start tacking on minutes. And stuff just can sometimes turn into rambling. I would say leave it at 3. And I'd like to make a motion as chair to accept the bylaws as presented.
Second.
We got a motion on the floor, properly seconded. Do we have any discussion?
Yes, I would like to bring up, and this goes back to when I joined the board, whether I agreed with the person who put it in or not. I thought it was a good policy is that the chair should rotate between districts. And the reason I bring that up is, again, every district is represented once at least with what interest on the agenda for that district. And I would like to bring that up again. I know it probably will be voted down, but I just wanted to put it out there.
So is that a motion?
That is a motion. We did it from probably 2016 to 2024.
Okay, so we have a
So is that
second.
an amendment to the existing motion?
I would like to make that to the bylaws. I didn't get to finish. There was a motion made. I would at least like that part of the discussion.
I would object to that.
I would support having the chair rotate.
Okay, so right now we're still in discussion on the first motion. The first motion was to accept the bylaws as presented. We're in the discussion on that, and Ms. Bender would like a modification to the bylaws. So
She's asking for an amendment. There was a second to that, so you would call for the vote on the amendment first and then go back to the original motion.
okay. All right, any discussion on the
So I'll
amendment?
second the motion for the amendment. I think is-
There's discussion because Supervisor Metz said that he supports it rotating, but it does rotate. It already rotates between now. It's just whenever you add in, as we have right now, the at-large, who represents all the districts, we're just including the at-large in the rotation. So, but it does rotate, Mr. Metz.
That is incorrect.
I'm reading the bylaws right now. I cannot find the word rotate anywhere in the bylaws.
I think what they're shooting for is not the fact that it changes, but it's a chronological thing where it goes district to district to district, and we don't vote on it, we don't discuss it, it just moves along from year to year.
And
Is that correct?
What I'm trying to say, and maybe I didn't state it right, is and I will give Ms. Bravo credit. She was the one who came up with this. Is that there was a set, like it was at large. I don't remember the exact order at this point, but there was an order. It was Shiloh at large. I think it was then James Madison, and then it was Dahlgren, and then it was James Monroe. And it rotated so that every district was represented. It was a gentleman's agreement. It was not in the bylaws. I am just asking for it to be put in the bylaws. And that is why, Mr. Stroud, I said I did not agree with you, because yes, it does rotate, but it does not rotate at this moment between the districts.
Chair,
Mr. Davis?
I don't necessarily think that, why vote on it if it's something that's going to rotate? I think that if you can't win the respect of your peers to vote for you, I think that goes a long way. And to just have something given to somebody just because they're in that seat, then you do your job well. You win the respect as a leader and as someone who handles himself well and is able to lead themselves, and you get voted as chair. I don't even think it should rotate every year. You don't change CEOs of companies every year. You don't change presidents every year. If someone does a good job, I don't care if they go a year, 2 years, 3 years. The guy in Westmoreland go for 20 years. It doesn't bother me. If someone's doing a good job, then they should stay in there, just like Mrs. Bender is the Service Authority chair for 2 years because she's doing a great job at that. So I'm not for an automatic rotation that everyone gets a turn. I think it's about respect, and it's like you earn it, just like everything else.
Concur.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
It's my motion first, Fred. I just want to clarify for the first one. I say aye.
Nay.
Nay.
Aye. So chair votes aye, motion carries. Correct?
The amendment,
The amendment to the motion carries. All right, now back to the original motion, which is I'm assuming the rest of the bylaws are accepted as presented?
So
You just voted to rotate the chair by district.
I know.
that opens up a whole new can of worms. So all right, I'll leave that can of worms. Right now, it's going to come up, but because now you got to figure out the sequence for that, what the rotation is going to be. Is it going to be alphabetical? Is it going to be by name? Is it going to be by height or what? So
I understand, but we're relatively smart people. I think we can figure that one out.
we were smart enough to figure it out before having it in writing.
I got you. All right. So back to the original motion.
I have no problem with the original. I just clarified, do we need to have the actual meeting dates before we adopt the bylaws?
So can we table that until we get back to the meeting?
That's
date?
the only,
All right. So we're going to table that for now. We'll come back to it at the end once we've established the dates. All right. Item 0105, adopt or amend the 2026 standards of conduct.
Mr. Chair, I only had one question, and I brought this up last year. Do the Code of Ethics and Standards of Conduct, aren't they should be the same document? Or do they need to be separate documents? Because they kind of repeat stuff. I think I mentioned it to you, Mr. Stewart, last year.
Mr. Chairman, I think they're all in this one. Am I wrong about that, Jack? I think you did that already in this document. I'll go through it, but I think they were all in this?
Because there's two separate documents, the 2018 Code of Ethics and there's the I forget when the standards of conduct, and they kind of overlap, and do they need to be separate documents? That's all I was.
I'm not sure there's a significant difference. If they're one document, there would be three subdivisions. If it was three documents, they'd be three. It can all be one document with three subdivisions. It can be three separate documents. It's whatever you all prefer as a board. It's the words in those documents that matter as such, I guess, is what, if I'm answering your question.
No, I'm just looking at when I used to coach, you have all these rules and you have to live by all the rules. If you have it succinct into one document that's not 5,500 pages, it's easier to follow all the rules and to remember all the rules.
It's something y'all need me to do with it. I'm happy to do it if there's some direction you want to give me with regard to this.
I'm fine with it being two documents. I mean, there's a great deal of overlap, almost like 95%, but
I'm okay with it. I just bring it up because I brought it up last year.
Okay.
I was just bringing it up again.
they're not contradictory. I know that.
I'm happy to reform it, revise it, whatever y'all want me to do.
Well, how about this? To make it non-controversial, I'll make a motion to accept I guess it's called the 2018 Code of Ethics and do I got the names right? And the Standards of Conduct. I don't think there was a year on that.
As presented.
As presented.
Your motion is to accept both of them. Okay. Okay, the motion is properly seconded. Do we have any further discussion? All right, Ms. Bender.
Aye.
Mr. Metz.
Aye.
Mr. Davis. Oh,
Aye.
sorry. Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Okay, establishment of meeting schedule for the calendar year 2026. Item number 0107, establishment of the day of the week. There were three options out there. I don't know if you can bring those up. One of the options was the status quo meeting on the first and third Tuesday of the month, starting at 5:30 p.m. The other one was for only one meeting a month being on the first Tuesday. The other was for one meeting a month on the third Tuesday. Do we have any discussion on these three?
I don't know how we would accomplish everything in one meeting.
I don't think so either. Some of our meetings as it is, even going twice a month, go really, really late.
Especially if you had a public hearing. That would really limit public hearings too.
And we have warrants every 2 weeks as well, so.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice, but I don't think it's feasible.
What do you guys think?
Just thinking if we keep the service authority together with it, I think we have to do 2 nights. I don't think you get through the agenda topics without. And you as chair can always make it a very short meeting if it needs to be.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to establish schedule option number 1 for our Board of Supervisor calendar year 2026 as presented.
Okay. Again.
Mr. Chairman, under option 1, I want to draw your attention to November 3, 2026. November 3 is election day. So should the board want to, you can choose right now either November 2nd or 4th, or we can do that later on in the year. I just want to bring that to your attention.
I say
We usually do it the day before.
Right.
I can remake my motion. I will make a motion to establish the meeting schedule for the calendar year 2026 to be schedule option 1 with one change. November 3rd now changed to November 2nd because of the election.
Okay, we have a motion properly on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion properly seconded. Any further conversation? Seeing none, we'll take a vote. Ms. Bender?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Stroud?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. All right, item 0108, Establishment of location. Right now, the meetings are in the boardroom of the Revercombe Building located at 10456 Courthouse Drive, King George, Virginia. With exceptions for when the boardroom is being used by other things such as the election. Are there any thoughts or discussion on this?
I'll make a motion to accept the Rivercombe Building as the main location for our meetings, except for when needed to be changed due to unforeseen circumstances, like elections.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All right. Mr. Stroud?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Ms. Bender?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. And establishment of time. For the last couple of years, the meetings have started at 5:30 PM on the scheduled evenings. Do we have any discussion on that?
Mr. Chair? Oh, Mr. Stroud?
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. One thing I know, there's been some discussion here, and we've moved up some public hearings in the last calendar year. Sometimes if we go through the agenda and public hearings, I believe one of them started like at 9:30 at night. So there was some discussion and put on the table. We can keep it as is and just, roll through it, and whenever we get to it, or do we establish a set time for public hearings? So Joe Q citizen knows I need to be there at 6:25 or 6:30 public hearing, get their crew there at 6:30. And that would also dictate when we do the advertisements. The specific time of the public hearing would be called on the advertisement. So just something for discussion. I know we made a couple amendments last calendar year due to some lengthy meetings.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Stroud.
Any other thoughts?
I guess really more of a question. Doesn't the chairman have the ability to work with you, Matt, and set the agenda on any given? I know there's a template of the agenda, but I guess you had to vote for it. I'm curious how this would work if we have two public hearings in the same night. You really can't judge how long that first public hearing is going to go.
I think the concern is traditionally we start the board of we start the meeting, then we kick it off with the board of directors. Sometimes that meeting in and of itself goes a little bit long. I think what Mr. Smolnik is looking for is we start the meeting, we get the public hearings up front, and then when that's complete, then we kick it off with the board of directors. Does that work? And then we finish up with the board of supervisors. Is that what you're asking?
Yes. I think if there were, to answer Mr. Metz's question first, if there are two public hearings, whenever we advertise them, we could say public hearings will start at 6:30 and they will be in this order. So just they give the public a specific time when they start. If there's three that night, they will begin at, say, 6:30 in this particular order.
I might amend that to say at or around 6:30, because if whatever's happening, but starting from 5:30 to 6:30, if it goes a few minutes long,
That's right.
The challenge with that is the sequencing that we have. We'll need to adjust that also whenever we're going through the bylaws, because we have the sequence in the bylaws. And public presentations is down the list. So the other thing, if we're looking at that, I would like to move up the meetings where we have to have county employees at. I try to get the county employees out as early as possible. If we're going to look at that, and it's something that, we've tried to do that in the past. I know last year, whenever possible, Chairman Davis would try to move them to get them out. But even, more so when we can, try to get them out, because sometimes they're here way late. IT's stuck here, but sometimes we have people here way late and then try to expect them to work the next day, and it makes it tough.
I think we can handle that on a meeting by meeting basis. I don't necessarily think we have to codify that in, because it's going to get real complicated real fast. But I do appreciate, trying to keep it consideration for the employees.
Talking about changing the time if we have to have them here. What we need to do is just make sure those events where they're going to be speaking are higher up on the agenda to get them done early.
That's why I say handle it on a meeting by meeting cases, get them up front. Go ahead.
That's what I was trying to say. But the thing is right now we have the agenda set. We have all this spelled out in the bylaws. So it makes it challenging. Either if we don't go by the bylaws and just remove it out of the bylaws and let the chairman set it for each meeting.
He does.
He does.
He does.
What if, no, we're trying to get through this procedural vote. We can change the bylaws at any point during the year. We always have to approve it here, but I think what you're talking about is moving item number 12. So Echo 12 page, I don't even know what page this is. 2?
Yeah, 3 it would be.
2 and 3 kind of overruns it. Moving item 12 up to something like 3 or 4. I don't know what that would cause. There may be other repercussions to that. I think Matt can work through that. If you would bring us back a proposal, if that would be a good idea to make permanent.
Mr. Chair, the only thing then, if we did that, is to make sure number 8, because we talked about the employees, number 8, to make sure that it's in front of the public hearing. Because constitutional officers, they have to present. They might not have anything, but.
Mr. Chairman, too, just so I know you all probably know this, you can always amend the existing agenda regardless of what the order of business in the bylaws says at a particular meeting if you choose. The chairman also always has the ability to bring things up early on the agenda if he or she so chooses. So if you leave it, you can move it up, or you can whatever. You have great latitude and flexibility.
Okay, sounds good.
And this all started because of trying to tell when the public hearings were going to go at a set time. So basically, in the end, we're just leaving it the way it is and dealing with it as it comes.
I think that's probably the cleanest way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, we are. So back to the original question at hand. What time do we want to start our meetings?
I would assume 5:30 as always.
I would say stay 5:30.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
A second.
I'll make a motion to have our meetings held at 5:30 PM in the boardroom for 2026.
Second.
All right, motion properly seconded. Any further discussion? Please now.
Aye. Well, you didn't get to me yet, but.
Aye. Mr. Stroud.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried. We will start the meetings at 5:30 in the Rivercomb building, and we will follow option number 1, where we continue with 2 meetings per month. Okay, next item on the agenda, appointment of King George County Service Authority Board of Directors. And, yes, sir. Yes, thank you. We do have a motion on the floor that has not been addressed, and that was to adopt the bylaws as presented with the exception of adding the rotation of the chair on an annual basis, on a prescribed annual basis. So the motion has been made, properly seconded. Any further discussion on that?
You just added the word prescribed. That wasn't in the first motion.
Fair enough, yeah. Rotate from year to year, you're right. So I'll retract that.
And by district, because it already rotates. Rotate by what?
That motion's already been addressed.
So,
Mr. Chairman, again, I would point out that you were just elected for a year, so you probably got a year to work
Figure that out.
work through this motion before it rotates the next year.
All right. So roll call vote on the motion to accept the bylaws. Ms. Bender.
Aye.
Mr. Metz.
Aye.
Mr. Stroud.
aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Appointment of King George Service Authority Board of Directors. So item 0110 or 01-10, at-large district. I'll nominate myself to represent the at-large district on the board of directors again this year.
Can we take them all as one slate, Mr. Chair?
Is there anybody planning to nominate somebody else in their stead?
I am.
Okay.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Lee Robotham to fulfill the James Madison District.
Do we have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries.
Do I need to make a motion to accept I can give each name so we can adopt the whole slate.
Please.
So I will make a motion to accept for the appointment of the King George County Service Authority Board of Directors for the at-large, Mr. Sullins, the Dahlgren District, Mr. Davis, the James Madison, Mr. Robotham, James Monroe, Mr. Metz, and the Shiloh District, Ms. Bender, myself.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries. All right. Now I'm going to call for a recess and hand it over to the King George, call of recess of the King George County Board of Supervisors and have Mr. Hamilton call to order the Board of Directors.
Do I need a gavel or can I proceed? Thank you. I'm Dan Hamilton. I'm the general manager of the King George County Service Authority. Excuse me. I'm officially calling to order the organizational meeting of the Board of Directors for the Service Authority for the year 2026. This meeting has been duly noticed and advertised and is being held in accordance with the authority's bylaws. And I guess at this time I need to do a roll call and confirm that we have a quorum. I think I can already see that everybody's here, but Mr. Robotham, since you're immediately to my left, you're here. Ms. Bender, you're here. Mr. Metz, welcome. Mr. Davis.
Present.
Mr. Sullivan.
Here.
Mr. Stroud, I guess you're not technically part of our roll call here, but according to my notes, that means we have a quorum and the authority is therefore authorized to conduct business. The purpose of this, the primary purpose of this organizational meeting is to elect officers of the authority for the 2026 calendar year, specifically the offices of chairperson, vice chairperson, and the appointment of individuals to serve as the clerk or secretary, as well as the treasurer, in accordance with Article 6 of the authority's bylaws. So at this point, we'll proceed with the election of the chairperson. Pursuant to Article 6, Section 1 and Section 5 of the bylaws, the board shall elect a chairperson from among its members to serve a one-year term coinciding with the calendar year. Nominations are now open for the office of chairperson.
I'd like to nominate Ms. Kathy Bender.
Second.
Are there any additional nominations? Hearing none, the floor is closed for nominations. By roll call vote of those in favor of electing Ms. Kathy Bender as the chair and I guess we have to do Lee secondarily, I'm sorry. So anyway, excuse me. So by roll call vote, all those in favor of electing Ms. Bender as chairperson of the King George County Service Authority for the 2026 calendar year, please say aye. Mr. Robotham?
Aye.
Ms. Bender?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Sullivan?
Aye.
Hopefully that's the last time I'll do this year.
So I'm going to correct you. It's Sullins for the record.
Sullins, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm ashamed. In any case, it sounds to me like we have a new chair or a reappointed chair, and therefore I will
Pass it off.
transition to the new chair to take the meeting from here.
Thank you. I like this seat. This is a different, I haven't been over here in a while. I would like to take nominations for the election of vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Lee Robotham.
I will second that. Do I have any other further nominations? Any further discussion? Oh, close the vote, or close the floor. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this one. Thank you. All right. With that, I will take a roll call vote for the appointment of the vice chair to be Mr. Lee Robotham. Mr. Robotham?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Sorry, I'm so used to going in a certain order from last year. Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Sullins?
Aye.
Obviously, chair votes aye. I'm a little off on my game today. Thank you, Lee, for stepping into that role again. I really appreciate it. Now we have the appointment of the clerk or the secretary per bylaws. And usually in the past, it was the general manager. And so do we have any nominations for the clerk or secretary?
I nominate Mr. Dan Hamilton.
Do I have a second? We have a motion properly seconded. Is there any other nominations? Any discussion? I will close the nominations and I will take a roll call vote. So to the appointment of the clerk or secretary per the bylaws, Mr. Dan Hamilton, Mr. Robotham.
Aye.
Mr. Metz.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Solons.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Now the appointment of a treasurer. Do I have a nomination for the appointment of a treasurer, which most likely would be also the general manager? Is that a different one? Randy Jones, sorry.
Yeah, Madam Chair, we changed those last year and split those positions up.
Forgot about that.
You would have the county treasurer.
Thank you, Jackie, for reminding me. Oh, come on. All right. So the appointment of the treasurer for the board of directors to be Mr. Randy Jones. Do I have a nomination? We have a nomination. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion properly seconded. Any further discussion or other nominations? I'll close the nominations and I'll take by roll call vote for the appointment of the treasurer, meaning Mr. Randy Jones. Mr. Robotham?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Solons?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Next up, and bless you in the audience, the review in the adoption of the bylaws, SA 10105, adopt or amend the 2026 bylaws, which are referenced here, the 2025 bylaws. Do I have a motion on that? But hold on, we might want to hold off on that because I know we want to have some discussion about whether we go to once-a-month meetings. So would everybody like to table that to jump down to the Board of Directors discussion on location, day of the week, and time?
Good with that.
So I know there's been discussion and talk about the Board of Directors going to a monthly meeting because there are some meetings where we do not have a lot on the agenda. But there is a concern about the warrants. So I guess how can we address that? And are people interested in just going to once a month meetings? So I will take anybody who has any suggestions.
Prefer to maintain status quo because sometimes that stuff's going to build up. And for the same reason that it's difficult to take the Board of Supervisors to a once a month meeting, it's just going to snowball on us. And we have to pay the bills on a regular basis.
Anybody else have thoughts? Mr. Robotham, I know you've brought this up before.
Yeah, so just one of the thoughts I was, or if there was a need, if there was additional warrants that came up, if the chair of the board of directors had basically called a secondary meeting during the second meeting. For instance.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Yes, so if you have a regularly scheduled meeting once a month, you could continue a meeting if you didn't finish your business to that next meeting that the board's going to have, the second meeting of the month. You can call a special meeting. Again, you have flexibility.
Then if there's nothing, if there's, if warrants were handled at the beginning of the month, during the first meeting, if there wasn't anything that was an emergency that had come up, or if we adjust how some of the, with the general manager this year, how some of the flexibility is handled for potentially some of the bills that the service authority needs to actually pay. If we look into some of that going to once a month, and if this is something we need to continue, a little bit of discussion on, we can move that further into another meeting. We can keep status quo for now. It was just a thought.
I think you make some good points. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair, Mr. Sullins. And what we could do is we could put it on our future agenda
Sure.
so that we could have a discussion about it and maybe have some steps and talk to our finance about that too, so to get their thoughts on it. So everybody agree with, to put it on a future agenda, at least the discussion of it and keep the status quo? I don't, because I think there's a lot of moving pieces. It's a good point. All right, do I have a motion on the adopt or amend the bylaws then? I will go back to that.
I'll move that we adopt the 2026 bylaws referencing the 2025 King George County Service Authority Board of Director bylaws as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion properly second. Any further discussion? That being said, I will call for a roll call vote. Mr. Robotham?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Sullins?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Next up, the establishment of the location, the day of the week and the time. So the day of the week, obviously we said that it would be the same board meeting. So for the location, the Rivercombe Building, unless changed, and then the time, 5:30. We could have a motion on that if everybody agrees.
Can we make a motion that the establishment of the meeting schedule for 2026 for the Board of Directors at this time currently follows the Board of Supervisors meeting schedule for calendar year 2026?
That your motion?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion properly seconded. Any further discussion? I will go by roll call vote. Mr. Robotham?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Davis? Mr. Sullins?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. So now that we have the day of the week, so we have the time and the location, do I have a motion on both of those?
What was the question?
All right, does that cover, Mr. Stewart? Yeah,
He made a very
I
thorough.
think I was being very,
He covered all three of
there.
them.
All right, never mind that. Thank you, though. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote. Mr. Robotham?
Aye.
Mr. Metz?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Sullins?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. We don't have any information. Do we have any informational items, Mr. Hamilton?
I wasn't sure whether you wanted me to present a report tonight. I assumed it was going to be, whatever conversation we had would be very brief. I guess there's 2 or 3 quick things I'd like to, maybe if you could spare me 60 seconds, I'll just get them out there. First and foremost, we finished the year with, I believe, 26 water leaks from the time I came here on the 20th of July through the end of December, which puts us on pace for roughly about 1 a week, about 52 leaks in a year. I have no statistical other information to average that against, but just to give you a sense of what we're dealing with. You're talking about 1 day a week where the entire crew is dealing with something like that, potentially after hours or whatever, and we can come back to that, but just want to let you know. We did have 2 events over the holidays that impacted service significantly. There was a fairly large water leak at the entrance to the Hop Yard community, I believe on Christmas night. It may have been the night after that. I cannot remember. The timing is never good. But it was a significant leak, and we had to bring in a contractor because the pipeline was at a significant depth, and I don't want people working in a ditch that's not safe. Service was restored within about 5 hours, I believe, by about 2 a.m., and I think it affected about 15 or 20 homes. And then we did have a sewer backup / grease situation in front of the food line in Dahlgren on New Year's Day, since we're keeping with the holiday spirit here. And that was reported quickly by someone sitting in this room. And thankfully, staff responded and were able to resolve it pretty quickly in-house without bringing in contractors. So there were a couple of quick events. And then just last but not least, at the previous meeting in December, I mentioned that we had sent out letters that are now required by federal law related to an inventory of people's materials that are used to construct the water service line that feature property. When that inventory was conducted a year ago, if we were not able to identify through our records whether your service line was made of copper or PVC or galvanized pipe, according to the EPA and the federal law, it's classified as unknown, and we then have to send a mandatory letter about the health effects of lead. That letter was sent out about a week before Christmas. It had to be sent by the end of the year, and a number of folks have received it. And if they've had questions, of course, as far as I know, they've called or emailed the office, which I'm grateful for because I want people to have accurate information. And the letter, as it's worded, the language is mandatory. We can't change it. It could be perceived as alarming by someone that doesn't understand the reference. So I know over the holidays there was apparently some social media debate about these letters, and all I can say is if anyone on this board or anyone listening to this meeting this evening has a question, please contact me personally or someone in the Service Authority office. I will give you every detailed explanation I possibly can. And I've also coordinated with Ms. Southall. Next year, the plans are to draft a cover letter that will go along with that, although we can't change the mandatory language of the letter that was sent based on the inventory. We can certainly add a cover letter, which might eliminate some of the confusion. So other than that, I don't have anything significant, and thank you for your time.
No, I appreciate it, and I want to recognize Mr. Davis, who was the one who reported that. So, and it was taken care of right away.
Oh, and one more comment. Mr. Sullins, I'm truly sorry. I know your name. I'm stumbling and bumbling tonight.
Oh, I don't get offended. It gets messed up all the time. I just, for public record, I wanted to make sure it was right.
Yep. No, sir. Thank you.
And then do I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Hamilton, for adjournment.
Madam Chair, I move that we adjourn the Board of Directors to Tuesday, January 20th, 2026 at 5:30 PM in the boardroom of the Rivercomb Building.
With the motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion properly second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. We are adjourned. We'll move it back to the Board of Supervisors. Mr. Sullins.
All right, we'll reconvene the King George County Board of Supervisors. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
A motion on the floor.
Second.
Okay, motion properly seconded. Roll call.
Any further discussion?
Oh, thank you. Any further discussion?
What was that?
We're approving the consent agenda.
Yes, that's, sorry.
Ms. Bender.
Aye.
Mr. Metz.
Aye.
Mr. Stroud.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Will we constitutional officer here with us tonight? Do you have anything? No? Okay, thank you. Next item up, we have no public hearings, no presentations. We do have an action item. The appointments to boards, committees, and commissions, starting with the Tourism Advisory Committee. The appointments to this committee are a one-year term, and we have a stack of names here. We also have a couple of vacancies. Do we have any discussion on the Tourism Advisory Committee?
Mr. Chair, I've got a nominee for the Agricultural Tourism Committee,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
and that would be Mr. Tom Jokum,
How do you spell it?
Joakum.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I also have a name for the agritourism position. Mr. Dragon Kurbalaha,
And how do you spell that last name?
Kurbilaja.
Okay. Any other nominations? All right, so we'll address that first, and then if there's any nominations for the lodging, we'll come back to that, and then we will approve the entire slate en masse. So for the vacancy to fill agritourism, first off, we'll take up Mr. Jokum. All in favor of Mr. Jokum?
Yeah, second. Second.
Oh, thank you. Probably seconded.
I just have a quick question. I remember when we had a big debate a long time ago about these specific positions and what, so I would just like to know each person that was nominated, what their background is to serve in that position, since there's 2 nominees.
Okay. So, right. So, Mr. Jochum is a Marine. He's currently a contractor, but he's got his own business as well. He owns property as well as a home. So 2 separate locations within the county. He is a James Madison resident, and he travels a lot. So he's got a lot of experience in that area. And Ms. Southall also has had the opportunity to meet with him or talk to him, sorry. Has had the opportunity to talk to him. So he's here tonight as well. So.
Would you like to come up and introduce yourself?
I guess the question I'm asking is because I remember these debates a year ago before any of you were on the board, is like for each of these positions that they represent the agritourism or they represent the outdoor recreation or the arts and events. That's why I was asking, and you got 2 nominees.
No problem. My Representative Stroud, thank you for nomination, and thank you for hearing me. I'm a professional pilot. In fact, I was 15 minutes late because of air traffic control tonight, but I won't hold that against them because I had to fly an airplane from Maryland over for work today. But I own a piece of property that's actually a forestry and an apiary. I actually meet with USDA and Department of Forestry for Virginia tomorrow. That's located in Shiloh District. My home is in James Madison District. I grew up in an agricultural community background. I have an MBA from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I own a company called Fast Strike Industries that does defense industry consulting as well as Second Amendment activities. And my farm's actually Forestry Outdoors Honey LLC. As Mr. Stroud said, I've traveled all over the world. I've been, we'll just say Middle East, check all of it. Africa, Asia, Central America. So I've kind of been a few places. And I enjoy King George County. I moved here because I was flying out of Pax River, and I like living in a rural community. So a lot of our agritourism, I've been a patron. Now I'm a participant. Sorry, no water, and I'm running out of gas for the day. I've been going since I got up. I didn't expect to fly today, so it was kind of a phone call. The other pilot got sick, and I had to fill in. Do you have any additional questions for me? Or?
No, that was a great summary of your experience.
Also, one other thing to note, talk about your anniversary and what you did there.
Oh, yeah. So for my anniversary, we stayed at Bella Grove, bed and breakfast. And then we actually went to Creekside and a bunch of agritourism farms. And I'm not going to pick one out because I don't want to show favoritism, but I've been to just about every agritourism farm. I actually cut trees for one of our local vendors who does chainsaw art at the King George County Farmers Market. In fact, I don't even charge them. I'm just like, man, please get rid of these pines. So I'm like, pick the ones you want and we'll cut them. So yeah, most of my grocery shopping is not at Food Line. I'll put it like that. So, it's mostly at the farm.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
I asked you one question. Why are you interested in doing this?
There's a need. And, I'm interested in agriculture. I opened up a farm of my own, and agritourism. I'd like to see more tax dollars in industry. Well, I want to see more tourism brought into King George to help out our local businesses, sustain what we have. we're agricultural, so I think we're a little overlooked for what we have. I mean, Bella Grove is where James Madison was born. I think historically we're a lot more significant than most folks think or know.
Thank you. And
Yeah, so I'll just do a little intro. So the reason I nominated Dragon and Kevin own Garden Gates Farm, a growing agro business in this county that is bringing in tourists from outside. We've been talking for the last year about how to get more tourism dollars into the county. And I might, and Dragon's in the back there, and I'm sorry, I go by your first name because your last name, I don't think I'm pronouncing it correctly. And I would like to, he can get up and speak. Big background in food service as well. So this kind of crosses over a couple of items that the Tourism Advisory Committee, I think, is going to have to contribute as far as input to county policy and where we want to go. I might even make a recommendation here based on the feedback. I see we still have a vacancy in lodging, and I think Dragon's a good fit.
let's do one at a time.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, getting ahead of myself. Good fit because he's in the business that we're trying to grow within the county, right? To maintain that rural character. So with that, I'll let him get up and speak.
Would you like to come introduce yourself?
Thank you so much. My name is Dragon Kubalia. Like Matt said, Brian said, I own and operate Garden Gates Farm here in King George with my husband, Kevin. We've been here almost 5 years. We grew that business now from ground up, started with 35 chickens, and it is what it is today. We have a huge social media following. My experience with this, I've spent 14 years in some of the biggest resorts in Orlando as a banquet manager, and then moved up to DMV area, spent managing restaurants. I was general manager of Philomena restaurant, of Hank's Oyster Bar down at the Wharf, and Smashing Grapes up in Annapolis. That was my last position as a hospitality manager. So I have a deep background in hospitality. Here in the county, we on our farm, we welcome all of our local businesses. We currently have over 24 small local businesses that display and sell their products with us right on the farm. Last fall, for those of you who are aware, we organized the Fall Festival on the farm. They drew about 600 people on a Saturday, another 450 people on Sunday. That was, help me with the dates, last weekend of October last year. So we're planning on another 4 of those events for this year. And we love everything that's local. We have huge plans for the farm. People often compare us to Westmoreland Berry Farm, and we would love to bring something like that back to the King George County. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Sorry. All right. We're good. Thank you.
I have a question.
Never mind.
Yeah, so, yes, sir. So, farms are expensive. They're expensive to run. So I'm curious, you, on your farm, so you guys generate enough agricultural revenue to pay for the farm and for your activities, all at the farm, or is there outside funding?
So Kevin still works a full-time job. He's a lifelong journalist. I stepped away completely from hospitality. I'm full-time on the farm. This year was the first year that 2025 was the first year that we finally had a part-time employee. This year we're looking to add 3 to 5 employees on the farm, and farm is starting to produce enough revenue that where we can afford to have employees. And but we reinvested literally everything that we earn on the farm right back to the farmers.
Thanks, sir.
So, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. All right, so I'm going to do it a little bit different this time. We'll do a roll call vote, but I'm going to ask you for your response. Either say Mr. Jokum or Mr. Correlia. Dragon. We'll go with that. Thank you. Either Tom or Dragon. All right, Ms. Bender.
This is for the agritourism, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tom. Did I get that right?
Yep. Mr. Metz.
Dragon.
Mr. Stroud.
Tom.
And Mr. Davis.
Tom.
And chair votes for Tom. Tom, congratulations. All right, I believe you wanted to talk about lodging.
Can I say something real quick?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I was, go
Yes,
ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I just want to say that most of the time we are very hard to find people to fill roles. And so thank you to both of you. Both of you are tremendous candidates for that role. I honestly believe that. And I appreciate everything that Dragon, you guys bring to this county and all that you do. People love going there. I know that. And I just want to let you know that that's really a tough decision for me. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I really do. And just that you're volunteering means a lot. Thank you.
Well, so then I'll just move my recommendation to put Dragon in as the lodging. I think, again, this isn't about their farm. When I had this conversation with him and I talked with Ms. Southall, who also chatted on the side, this is about how we grow these businesses within the county. We have a great business owner here. You just heard the growth that they've made and the employees that they're bringing on within the county, and I'm all about jobs.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, motion properly seconded. Do we have any other nominations before I close that out? Okay, I'll close out nominations. Dragon is the only nomination for the lodging vacancy. Ms. Bender.
Aye.
Schmitz.
Aye.
Stroud.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Congratulations, Dragon, and thank you. As he said, I'll echo Bill's thing for both you guys. Thank you for being willing to step in and take on these roles. So,
Mr. Chair,
yes,
I think we need to make a formal, can I just make a nomination to accept the rest of the slate of names
that was going to be my next request.
for the Tourism Advisory Committee?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries. All right. Regional boards. Health.
Emergency Operations Center liaison.
Oh, thank you. Got tucked in there, didn't it? All right. Board of Supervisors, Emergency Operations Center liaison. This is a one-year term. Do we have any nominations or anybody that would like to self-nominate?
Yeah, I'll self-nominate myself for that.
Okay.
Is that the same as the fire liaison?
I'm not sure. It is?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay. Motion properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries. All right. Now down to the regional boards. Healthy Generations Board of Supervisor member. This is a 4-year term.
Mr. Solomons, I would like to stay on that board.
Okay. So you're self-nominating
I'm self-nominating.
Second.
and properly seconded. Any other nominations? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries. MAMPO, Fredericksburg Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, primary and alternate Board of Supervisors members. This is a 2-year non-voting policy committee term. They meet once a month in Fredericksburg. I'll self-nominate myself to stay on board.
Second.
I was just going to say I'm the other one, but I could give that up if somebody else wanted to have that role. It is a non-voting member.
I have no problem with you doing it again.
Right, I'll stay on it.
Right. Any other nominations? Any discussion? All in favor of Ms. Bender, myself staying on as primary and secondary alternates? All in
Aye.
favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries. All right, discussion items, appointment to boards, committees, and commissions. Board of Zoning Appeals, this is a 5-year term. The 7-member board does not have seats based on local districts. Under Section 15.2-2308 and the BZA's bylaws, which are established pursuant to the aforementioned state code, members must be residents of the locality. The Board of Supervisors may make recommendations on the BZA appointments, but vacancies are filled at the sole discretion of the circuit court.
Are there any vacancies?
We have a vacancy there?
Mr. Solons, I had to ask Mr. Smolnick about this because this can tell you how sometimes you're given the wrong information for 8 years. I was always told it was by district, and lo and behold, I find out it is not by district, because if you noticed on all the agendas, the Shiloh representative has rolled off. She did not want to continue in that role. She appreciated the job and just didn't want to continue. So I found out that anyone can appoint anyone, but I was told when I came on the board, and I was under the assumption for 8 years that it was by district, but I found out you can learn different things.
Okay, so do we have an opening first? We do indeed. Just one. Do we have a nomination for that?
That one's always been very, very hard to find, because once people find out part of the legality of it, they're like, no, thank you. Do you have something else?
So can we table this one to a further meeting, to a future meeting? Okay. Item 01-22, Landfill Advisory Committee. Okay. We definitely have some openings here. We've got a Board of Supervisor member opening. We've got an at-large district and a Dogger district opening. Is there a Board of Supervisor member who's interested in being a part of this?
And I wanted a clarification on this, Mr. Sullins, because originally there were 5 landfill advisory members based on district. Mr. Collins from former colleagues kind of got thrown on there. So I don't know if we want to continue that, having a board of supervisor, because that's not the way it was done in the past. It was, each district and the at-large had a member on the board of supervisor, on the landfill committee. And I don't think they've met for a couple of years.
Yeah, I was going to ask, when I looked up, I don't think they've met in the last year.
I don't think so either. But should we go ahead and put names out there just in case they do meet? I feel like we should, otherwise.
I think we should probably table it if we don't have any, I don't know if we have any names right now, but.
Well, that's a good point,
ask,
because I don't have anybody to nominate for the at-large at the moment.
Can we ask Ms. Southall to put a posting out looking for positions, looking for board members?
Okay. Yeah, that's a great idea. Looking for the will of the board on that. Are you guys okay with that? Any issues?
Guess which of the terms that are up, I guess, would be my question.
For the vacancies.
Yes, may I ask clarification? Would you like me to make an application to get their name, information, and why they're qualified, or just interest and have them email me and give you guys their contact? How do you want me to do that exactly? Sorry.
I would say option 1.
Okay, I'll do a form and let you guys review that beforehand.
Don't make it too formed.
No, basic information.
Just, what's your name and why are you interested in doing this?
Yep.
And that'd be fine.
Same thing we just did a few seconds ago.
Exactly.
Perfect, thank you.
Very good. Okay. Social Services Administration Board. This is a 4-year term. The James Monroe District is up.
I'm on that board.
Yeah, we can table that one as well.
We're going to table that one, please.
Position.
It's,
It can't be that bad. They nominated me for all the hard ones.
I'd like to
Maybe on the next
nominate
one.
Supervisor Metz for the Social Service Administration Board for the James Monroe District.
Second.
Are we allowed to have 2 supervisors on there is my question.
Yes, you are.
You've had it.
No, it's not quorum.
As long as no third shows up.
There's no third to be there.
Okay.
You can always nominate someone later.
Okay, we got a motion properly seconded. Any discussion? And your deer in the headlights look seems to have passed. I'm assuming you're okay with this.
So you now have somebody who can commiserate with you.
I'm not on that
It's
board.
not transportation, so.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay, Regional Board, Bay Consortium, Workforce Development Board, Economic Development Director or Economic Development Staff. So I'm assuming this is you, sir. Is there any discussion on that? It has to be you, is that correct?
Wasn't it TC?
This one was the one that was TC's before.
I was on it too.
Yeah, Mr. Stroud, we had a meeting in Warsaw. So Mr. Stroud was on, it can be an elected official, it can be there's a list of individuals. The jurisdiction, so it's the chief local elected official or up to 2 alternates, including county administrator, county ED director, school board member, school superintendent, and any other staff affiliated with the workforce development activities.
I think you're already on it, though.
Do I have to?
So we can nominate 2, is that what you said? We can have alternates?
That is my understanding, yes. And I believe last year, I believe it was.
Is it a yearly thing? Do I have to get renominated for this year?
If you weren't last year, it would not hurt, because this did not, I do not recall this coming up specifically last year. I don't think it would hurt to, appoint or reappoint Mr. Stroud if he wants to be on the specific board, and you can do another alternative, and should the board wish, I'll be happy to serve on that alongside Mr. Stroud.
So how do y'all feel about having Mr. Stroud and Mr. Smolnik as the primaries and Mr. Davis as the alternate for either of those?
It's rotated every year.
I think I rotated. I'd like to nominate myself and Mr. Smolnik to that board.
I'll be an alternate.
Mr. Davis is alternate.
For the Bay Consortium.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Congratulations, gentlemen. All right. King George Social Media Policy. Ms. Southall, Community Engagement Director, has a presentation for us.
Good evening, members of the board. Before you is a draft policy. This was at the request of some of the board members to add to the agenda for discussion tonight. The only thing that we discussed to change, myself and Mr. Stewart, is to add to under outline number 2, disparaging. So that would go with profane, vulgar, obscene, or disparaging comments. It's a brief overview of keeping professional decorum in a public space, just like you guys have in your bylaws for public comments at meetings. So I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
Mr. Stewart, you went over this, sir?
Yes, sir. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know the law on this, but this is a voluntary thing that the county is doing. Free speech gets involved, but I think you can put reasonable parameters on it. The original policy, as Amy and I looked at it, I had some concerns that it may not address current activities that had happened recently. And that's why we looked at it and said on line 2, we ought to add it disparaging. The problem with all these is it's subjective. Somebody makes a subjective decision about it. But again, it is designed to maintain a civil tone on the county's page. And as I told Ms. Southall, we can do this until a judge tells us we can't. And that's just as honest as I can be with the board.
Mr. Stewart, I did have a question on this one. So specific social media ecosystems, the state considers those public forums, even though they're a closed ecosystem?
If it is a public space for a local government, it is public, and so it's subject to the rules of FOIA, things like that.
Sure. So let me give you an example, right? So our bulletin board here in the center where we post for public the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody came by and graffitied that, we would be allowed to remove the graffiti.
Yes. Until a court tells us we can't do that. But I think that you all can put reasonable parameters in place to maintain a civil tone.
Okay.
But I'm just being honest, this is an area of the law that is evolving.
So who would determine whether it's a civil tone or not? I mean, we're not going to bring it before the Board of Supervisors every time we need to discuss this.
I think you should delegate that probably to whomever runs the site, and I assume that that is Amy.
I was going to say my proposal would be that I would flag and discuss with Mr. Smolnick. And then in case of FOIA, I would also be documenting those comments and make sure that I have record of them, but they just no longer would be public on our page. And I did want to note that on page 3, number 5 and number 6, I do think that these also help protect us to make a statement that number 5 is referencing that some comments may automatically be, or sorry, that's number 6, may automatically be hidden by the social media because I have no control over that. Other people may flag comments, say that it's bullying or other reasons. People agree to those terms of agreements when they get on social media. So that's just a note on that part. And then number 5 is that we do run the ability to turn off comments at any point in time if something runs off the rails. And that also is something that other departments are practicing. I try to steer clear from that because I want to engage with our community, but I just wanted to kind of say that this policy would help protect us for those 2 scenarios as well. I did also leave the policy as generic and vague as possible in reference to communication channels, including social media, because as technology happens, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I don't want to come before you in 2 years and have something different be a reality. So just a couple of other things to note.
Do we need to codify in the instruction that your plan of talking with Mr. Smolnick and adjudicating that between the 2 of you? No? Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
So, in addressing this, I would like to say that it's important to look at the purpose. Can you go up to the purpose, whoever's running the screen up there? There you go. Because this is the purpose of, King George County's official social media platform is to provide information of public interest to the county's residents, business community, visitors, and other members of the general public. So it's information of public interest. So that doesn't include like disparaging comments. It doesn't include people just throwing stuff out there that is, meaningless. Okay, it needs to meet the purpose. It needs to be of public interest, meaning that, we could say beneficial to the public for their awareness, for their knowledge, something to improve the county. Anything that's disparaging, if it's there to degrade somebody, or any of those things that are addressed down there in subparagraph 5, we don't need that. And it's against the purpose of the website. So I think that right there, it may be a public forum, but that doesn't mean that somebody has the right to go on there and say things that are mean, disparaging, or violate somebody's age, religion, gender, all those things. We just don't need that. So I think if we focus on the purpose, then it pretty much addresses, those concerns. So, and if we want to, I wouldn't say necessarily we don't need to we could expound on the purpose, but that would be what we need to let people know whenever they're on a website. If they're making comments, it needs to be focused on the betterment of our county.
And this will be posted to the county's website as well as pinned to all of our social medias so that people can read this when they interact with us. So this will be very upfront. And you did make me realize that I have a typo. It says city. I pulled this from a bunch of different localities very last minute to get it on the agenda in time. So that will be corrected.
But yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Comments? Yeah.
I would like to make a comment since this was brought about by something that occurred that affected me personally. And this is not against any disparaging comments about votes we make or policies we perform. That's part of the business. That's being in the public eye. You kind of give it up. But let me tell you, I think I have a wicked wig. I think I have an awesome wig. And those folks online that disparage, I hope no family member ever has an illness that makes them wear a wig like I do. And shame on you for not keeping it personal and tell your dog and don't put it on Facebook. Thank you.
All right, any other comments? I will say bald is beautiful. You can join me in this.
I'm close.
No, I'm joking. You'll have to wear a hat year round. All right. Any other comments? All right. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
What's that?
Lied to you.
I didn't say I was beautiful. I said bald is beautiful.
Okay, good. Say it right.
All right. Now we're down to the county administrator report. Mr. Smollett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So here we are, January 2026. On the agenda is a year in review, and this will be posted tomorrow. I wanted to kind of highlight some of the things here first, the State of the County address. So for the citizens, it's on the agenda, but you can also find it under the main county website, administration, and the 2025 county state of address. The link will be there tomorrow, but I want to kind of break some of the high points here for the county and for our residents, and what our staff has accomplished and the priorities that this board has set and how we've with the actions that we've taken. So with this, there are 82 items in total. It's been a busy year here at the county. I appreciate the board's direction on how you've directed me as the county administrator to implement certain things throughout the different departments. I'm not going to go through all these, just a couple highlights and maybe pick one from each one, but these are pretty important. So, last year we've had the earliest adoption, least cumbersome adoption of the budget, most expansive CIP in recent years. That was great from administration. Clerk of Circuit Court, where we all knew they moved, went down, relocated them in the records room to the new courthouse. So that's a great thing, a great facility down there for anybody doing any research. Commissioner Revenue, I know Regina and her staff have been busy at work with our consultant conducting the county's reassessment of real estate values. Community development, this is a great thing here. A lot of people, what's going on here, a lot of rumor mills all over the place. So they created an interactive projects map or a map app and added 750 complete projects. So this is where citizens can go in. It's all color coded to see what is going on a specific property, site plans, scanned in. So it's good information, and it really frees up the community development staff of, hey, I heard this is going on this property. Can you tell me more? It allows the residents to have all this information at their fingertips at their convenience. Community engagement. I know Ms. Southall has been super busy. She presented some of the updates for the tourism and the newly redesigned website. We've got our first tourism visitor brochure that's been printed and is circulating throughout the Commonwealth right now, highlighting our tourism assets, which would bring in some tax dollars. So that's a great step with community engagement. Economic development. I see Mr. Booth in the back, one of our EDA board members. They've awarded scholarships for DECA students and Future Business Leaders of America for students at King George High School. So I commend the EDA for really pushing our future leaders and allowing them to engage in national competitions. Engineering, we all know they've been busy with all of our interconnects, Circle to Courthouse interconnect, Canterbury to Courthouse, and they demoed the old middle school that was sitting there for a number of years. So engineering's definitely been busy at work, working alongside our service authority. Finance, procurement, Levita and her team, just top notch. Appreciate everything they do. The thing that stood out to me was successfully implemented vendor automated clearing or ACH payments using a two-step process. So this is minimizing checks. So as we pay our vendors, it's ACH automatic instead of going through processing, mailing checks out. So moving in the right direction there in finance and procurement. Fire rescue, one of the big things that you all have heard about, and I believe Chief Moody will present a little bit on this, is the fuel depot. We realized a couple of capital projects, CIP budgets ago, there was money allocated. They came in way over budget. We got creative. In an instance where we had an emergency here, we could get fuel delivered through our emergency services, but we had nowhere to put it. So that meant, we may have ambulances and fire trucks waiting behind everybody else at Sheets. Now we have our own highly regulated fuel dispensing system at Company One for diesel and gasoline. And big changes, they obtained their DEA license to operate an internal pharmacy. So this was a change that was passed down to localities. Instead of getting the medications from the hospitals, we now have a DEA license and track and administer those specific prescriptive medicines. So general properties, you've seen them here as you come into the Rivercombe building. the exterior security cameras. It's always good to have eyes on everything that goes on. That's, one thing that I noted. So we've got interior, exterior cameras, just to, give staff and citizens a peace of mind that we can go back, in an instance, and we have had to use it a couple times when there was destruction of property here at the Rivercombe building. So those cameras were instrumental in identifying the individuals in that specific case. Human resources. So one big thing here, they updated all the county job descriptions. The board's heard about this. This was something that was not done. Not every county employee had a signed job description. So in order to hold people accountable, you have to have a job description first. So that was a major undertaking by the small HR staff, and we got that done. Appreciate all the department heads to work on that. IT, we're working on the upgrades here in this particular boardroom with the remote cameras. They're no longer in the back of the room. They've got a control room out back. And then initiated password software for key county positions, ensure continuity of government operations for each department. We all know cybersecurity is utmost important, and our staff is staying on top of this to make sure that your local government can run in the event of an unfortunate incident, with the IT system. Smoot Library, collaborated with Parks and Rec and Friends of Smoot Library to offer summer movies in the park. I think some of them were canceled due to the rain, but great opportunity for you to bring your family, spend some time with your friends out there, watch a movie outside underneath the stars. Parks and Rec, the Dahlgren Parks Master Plan. This was the 150 acres at the foot of the bridge. That was a very intense master plan. So now we've got a path forward. And another thing I wanted to highlight with them, it's completed first summer extern program with 8 King George High School students. You see a pattern here with the EDA and a few others, getting the students involved, getting the youth involved in our government, to maybe go off to college, go to trade school, go into the workforce, but stay here in King George County. So I appreciate those efforts through Parks and Rec to work with the King George High School students. Registrar's office, we had 90 days of early voting, our new voter system registration. I think that went through quite smoothly, so commend Lori and her staff on that. Sheriff's office, we now have 3 deputies certified as commercial vehicle inspectors. Again, participated in numerous community youth engagement programs, 2 youth academies, and for the 12 and 18-year-olds, and a summer learning program for the 4 to 8-year-olds. Again, getting the youth involved here and building trust amongst the community, a common theme which I'm very proud of. Social services, a lot of times we have a plan, we adopt a plan, and it sits on a shelf. Nothing's acted on it. But when you look at social services, they filled all the 23, 25 strategic plans and goals. Only one goal was carried over into the renewed plan. So Mr. Franklin and his staff, a great job over there. It's a tough job in social services, but great job for them to really take this plan and not let it sit on a shelf. Actually go ahead and do what it said. And then solid waste, I know Mr. Newchok runs a tight ship here at convenience centers. It really held some great and very well-attended household hazardous waste collections to disposing of this material properly instead of throwing it in a roadside ditch and polluting our waterways that we hold so near and dear to our hearts. So, this was a tip of the iceberg. All 82 things, they're on the website or on the agenda here. This will be with a cover letter tomorrow, but I'm really proud of my staff for 2025. And, we kind of, got our sights set on 2026 and, kind of keep moving forward and appreciate the support of the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, Mr. Smollett. Any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I would like to say that folks, this is really huge. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you to the county staff, because I can tell you, going back to sitting where you folks are sitting tonight and observing county administrators past, and the achievements that were being briefed were employee birthdays and anniversaries. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anniversaries and birthdays, but what was accomplished, okay? What was accomplished? People lived another year, that's huge. But this is much better. Being briefed on what the achievements, that people actually have goals, they have objectives, they're achieving them and bettering our county. Okay, this is really huge. And if you take a look back, then you really see how big it is. But I'm really impressed. Thank you very much, sir. thanks, everyone. So, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other comments? All right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know if you all wanted to vote on this social media policy.
I'll make a motion to accept the social media policy as presented.
Do you,
Wait a minute.
do you want the amendment to add the word disparaging on line 2?
Yes.
And the correction is city to county.
Can we clean that up real quick?
Mr. Stewart, could you restate it and I'll say,
Adopt the policy as presented, as amended on line 2 with the typo corrected.
as presented? I'll make,
All right. All in favor? Or actually,
Aye.
I'm sorry, any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries. All right, we will open up the floor to secondary public comment to address meeting items only. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person to afford everyone an opportunity to speak. Please provide your full name and district when submitting your public comment so that it can be properly recorded and included in the public record. Do we have anybody who would like to speak? Mr. Downs, do we have anybody online?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have Ms. Colleen Davis.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Davis. Ms. Davis, can you hear us?
Hold on, Ms. Davis, we're checking something, please.
Here she is. No, we can see it.
Can you try again, Ms. Davis? Can you check your settings on your home computer there? We should be able to hear you.
Claudette. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, for those that didn't hear that, she's going to type out her question and Mr. Dines is going to read it for us. In the meantime, did anybody get any correspondence? Any other correspondence? All right. We'll hold tight for this.
Well, obviously I see it's a question for me. So what's the question?
All right.
Can you hear me?
Is that going now?
This has been a question for you, and I was trying to type it, but you're in a rush. My question to you is why your sudden change and to make a vote in changing the bylaws of chair, and then you gladly take chair several years in a row for the service authority. So that's my question to you. My second thing is, this year while you're chair on the service authority, I hope to see, just like a lot of people that my husband has protected, your comments for you. I hope to see a change done. Thank you, bye.
I'm confused. I couldn't hear the whole question because there was a lot of reverb.
I think what she said was you wanted to make the chair a rotating position, yet you gladly took the Service Authority chair for the third year in a row without wanting to rotate that position. I think that was what the question was, the gist of it.
And I assumed that would be brought up. And the Service Authority, as we stated before, is a totally separate entity. It is an enterprise fund. It is not a board of, it's not in a board of supervisor position. And I know this is becoming very personal, but, you know, I think I've done a very good job as the Service Authority, and I think this is only coming up because I brought up the rotating chairmanship for the supervisors. You know, I've had a lot of reflection in my life, and you got to stand up for yourself. And I really believe that that should rotate at least for the Board of Supervisors, because that's an elected position, and you serve your constituents, and you should be able to serve your constituents at least once as chair so that you can represent their interest. And you have done it. You did a very good job at it. Mr. Solons, I'm sure will do a very good job. And each of you else, if you, Mr. Stroud, if you run again, or if you want to next year, you would do a good job, and so would Mr. Metz. So that's all I'm saying, is to make sure you take a lot out of that jockeying, and then it is it's just a smoother transition and everyone's represented. Obviously, that is not your feeling, and you're probably very hurt by it. And I don't know what to say. You kind of put me on the spot, but I see where there could be a contradiction, but I do know that continuity in the Service Authority as an entity in the enterprise is very important. It's very important to DEQ. It's very important to the regulators. It's very important to state agencies. That is not the same as the Board of Supervisors. Whether you believe that or not, that is what I believe, and I know other citizens believe, and everyone has their supporters. Everyone had their supporters to vote for them. I hope I answered that question, but you kind of put me on the spot, so I answered it to the best of my ability.
Well, the vote put us on the spot, so I can understand that.
And Mr. Davis, I also want to clarify, I did bring this up last year about this, and I did say that I would bring it up again in the bylaws, and I assumed I would get shot down. Well, sometimes I don't hear about things that appear at this board meeting.
All right. Any other public comments? Anybody in the audience want to join us? All right. Mr. Dines, anybody else online? All right. I will close public comments at this time. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn to January 20th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. in the Ripcomb Boardroom.
You have a second?
Second.
Probably seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries. We are now adjourned.